This is Araxxor video number 3. This is Path Darkness and Path Acid Pool. So, to get to Araxxor, you can take the ecto file to the ecto fungus and run down to Araxxor right here. Or you can charter a ship from Port Sarim to Port Pahimesis and run out of Port Pahimesis West Gate and run down, or teleport to Caliphis Lodestone and run through the Haunted Woods to Araxxor. So the way to check Araxxor's rotation is to hit the Beast tab in the Adventures page, and it tells you what current block is here. Spider Minions is Path 1. So his special effects on this path, which is Darkness, every 30 seconds in Path 3, Araxxor will drop down from the ceiling and charge to you. If you dodge his attack correctly, he'll smash the wall behind you. After 2 successful attempts solo, the wall in the cave will cave in and grant access to stage 3. So pretty much, if you're standing in the darkness area, you're going to take constant damage, and it increases over time, and it does cap, but it's all down to his rage. So to make it easier for yourself, if you don't have an Araxxor Foamerone, you're going to want to start creating instances. It's only 200k, unless you haven't got cheaper instances. So you start it. You're going to want your inventory to have some brews, restore flasks, anti-poisons, overloads, shield, enhanced Excalibur if you can, some DPS gear, a bow if you're ranging. Yeah, ranging. Ring of Wealth doesn't affect drops at Araxxor, so use your best DPS ring or a ring that saves you adrenaline, Ring of Vigor, Asylum Surgeons, I think there's one more. 6-8-30, that's another one, or Reef Death. So you're just going to want to come in, whack up an overload as soon as you walk in, run to the right hand side, which will be the most south side. Then you're going to want to burn down the web, if you can find the click box. Whack your prayers on, anticipate for the first hit, and just DPS them down. If you get caught in a cocoon, click around the floor, click on Araxxor himself. His special attacks come every 5 attacks. So you can count to 3, count to 4, and do Freedom or Anticipate. That's his cleave ability, which he will drag you in and deal some hefty damage to you. So the only other attack which he hasn't done yet is the Web Shield, which is this one. You can equip the shield and build some more adrenaline, or you can use Fragmentation Shot and Resonance off that. So this stage is pretty much just DPSing down, trying to take not as much damage as possible. So you're going to carry on DPSing him, and just DPSing him, get him down to about 5-10k, and then we can hit the next phase, which is phase 2. You might want to use a DPS aura if you're learning. I wouldn't recommend using degradables, especially tier 90 degradable. But for my first kills, I use an aura that helps with prayer or vampirism, and use my greatest sharpshooter later on. Sign of Life helps here, especially for the very last phase, and the cleaves. So it's, like I said before, the special attacks come every 5 attacks. So you can DBS them down to about 5k, then run up here. You can turn your prayers off and activate just the normal mage pray, range pray. And you're going to want to step in the light as soon as you can find it. So there's going to be these little eggs spawn. You're going to want to crush those so you don't have to deal with minions. And just keep finding the light every single time. So to know what the swap prayer is, this little green one is the mage prayer. And the little cocoon web looking thing like that is the range prayer. So the side he's swiping, you're going to want to swipe to the opposite, which if you spin Araxxor around is the same way. So let's just dip into here, swap our prayers, we can surge into those. So like I said, the damage will increase the more time you're in the shadow, but it resets as soon as you hit this light. And like I said before, it caps. Try not to turn your run off like I just did. Being overloaded for this phase doesn't really matter at all, but to give you that extra little bit of defense. Always helps. So when he does this, you're going to want to go up, and when his claws are pointing, claws, whatever you want to call them, when they're pointing down, you're going to want to go down. So for this bit, you're going to want to re-overload, put your normal prayers back on, and his attacks are quite random. When he stamps his 2 front feet on the floor, he's going to spawn one of these highly adisic spiders, which you'll leave till last if you're doing the acid phase. He can also spawn an insta-kill spider, which is not really important. You'll notice that by a green sludge on the floor. So this phase is pretty much just DPSing down to about 20k health before you deal with these highly adisic spiders. If you're on path 1 and darkness, so path 1 and 3, on this phase, instead of the green minions, he will spawn normal minions. You're going to want to kill those first. The same way you do path 1. But on this phase he'll spawn darkness, so you just stand in the light like normal and just carry on DPSing him down. Using anticipation and freedom quite regularly. As you can see, that he just stamped on the floor and he just spawned another highly adisic spider. So you're going to want to try and save your food on this part as much as possible. I know with the higher end rages you're going to use quite a bit of food, because even I do, and I'm not the best, but I'm not the worst. So you just keep finding these shadows and hitting them. So I say, as I can't see his HP, well, he's around 15k health. So as you just saw there, he stamped on the floor and he spawned that grey little sludge. That means the insta-kill spider is going to come out. You're going to want to run away from that surge, get away from it just as quick as possible. So you're going to want to avoid the swipes, just like normal. And you're going to want to get him to suck up these green acidic spiders and just DPS him down. When this bastard's acidity level 100%, that's when you know you've got all the acidic spiders into him, and that's when you can kill him and move on to phase 4 to make phase 4 a lot easier. If you don't put the spiders in him, it will make him a lot harder on phase 4. But myself, I like to stay around 100% adrenaline ready for the last phase, or somewhere close. So this is phase 4, it never changes. Any phase or any path that you take, this phase does not change. You're going to want to anticipate at the first and swap your prayers. This is the range pray prayer, and that is the mage pray prayer. So you're going to want to avoid the web cocoons, the same as 1, 2 and 3, and just carry on DPSing him down and swapping your prayers at the same time, and obviously avoiding his special attacks using anticipation and freedom. But on this phase with darkness, he'll use darkness on the very last phase as well. So if it's on the other side like it was for me just then, you're going to want to try and avoid it. But just DPS him down to 50% so he stops using his special attacks. So when he's at 50% health, his attacks are going to come more frequently. They're going to hurt a lot more as well. So you're going to want to get him to around 35,000 HP. Continue swapping prayers and whack up Death Swiftness. And build some adrenaline ready for the green splodge thingy. I can't remember what it's called, but I call it a green splodge. So when the green splodge spawns, he's gonna drain your adrenaline by 50% or up to 50%. When that happens, you just want to DPS them down, continue swapping prayers, and if the green splodge hits you, just move one step and kill finished. So you search Araxxor's body for the loot, and you leave, just like normal. So that's phase darkness complete, guide, pretty much. So have fun guys, and have fun Araxxor.